Go.
Hi, this is Ruksar Pala and Priyanka Patel, and we're doing lesson 1.3, which is increasing, decreasing, and constant in functions. First of all, we're going to talk about domain and range. The domain is the set of inputs of a function, otherwise known as x. The range is the set of outputs of a function, otherwise known as y. For example 1, we're going to find the domain and range of the graph f of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 4. So on the x-axis, the graph expands both to the left and to the right, and since there are arrows at the end of the lines, we know that goes on infinitely. So the domain of the graph is negative infinity to positive infinity because there is no interruption or break in the graph on the x-axis. However, in the range, we know that the lowest point of the graph, or the minimum, has to be at 0 on the y-axis because there is no point lower on the y-axis that the graph reaches. We do know that the graph expands upwards because, again, of the arrows. So the range of the graph goes from 0 here to infinity because this is a closed point, not an open one, so we don't use an open parentheses. So now we're going to move on to increasing, decreasing, and constant in graphs. So if a function is increasing, then x1 will be less than x2, and y1 will be less than y2. So basically, the graph will go this way. If its function is decreasing, then x1 is greater than x2, and y1 is greater than y2. Basically, the graph goes this way. If a function is constant, then y1 will equal y2, and it will be a straight line parallel to the x-axis. Let's look at the example 3. So we're going to use the graph to find the increasing, decreasing, and constant of this function. So since these lines share points, then this point has to be an open point. So we use an open parentheses to show that it's an open point. Since this is a closed point and there's no line sharing that point, we use a closed parentheses or a bracket to represent that. So the line from here goes from 1 to 5. So we know that the interval will be 1 to 5 for increasing because it's going up this way. For decreasing, there are infinite points on this side of the graph. So the first interval will be negative infinity because it's going in a negative direction, and negative 2. So negative 2 will also have an open parentheses because this is a shared point between two lines. For the constant, these are both shared points. We know that goes from negative 2 to 1, negative 2 to 1, and since they're both open points, that's how we
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
We love you, Miss Duffin.
This was